exceptionally good today. Who made this? Very delicious. Hold on.
Hey, my cosmic sippers. It's Nova Charm, and welcome to another episode of Astrology Tea with your girl, Nova Charm. And on this channel, I give you all the cosmic tea that you didn't know you needed a sip of. But before we get too deep into it, go ahead and hit that like, subscribe to your girl, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you don't miss an episode. On today's episode, we're hopping back into this series of Love Island USA, Will Those Couples Survive Outside of the Village? Based on astrology placements in their chart. Now, of course, a lot of the information is limited, but the information that I am able to find, I definitely work with that, yes. On today's episode, we're diving into Nic Olandria. Yes, hashtag Nic Olandria. One thing I could say is together they are absolutely magnetic. And looking at their chart, it explained exactly why for me. And with that being said, let me give you this tea and let's get straight into it, okay? Now, when it comes to the Bama Barbie Olandria's chart, she is a Gemini sun. Now, when it came to her moon, it was a little iffy on whether or not she's a Cancer moon or a Leo moon. Honestly, it was hard for me to determine because she gives characteristics of both. However, for the purposes of the video, I decided to roll with Cancer moon since it is a greater chance that she would be a Cancer moon. Either way, her moon is straight luminary energy. Now, she also has a Mercury in Taurus. Her Venus is in Aries. Her Mars is in Gemini. And I was unable to find her rising sign because we couldn't find the exact time of date of birth. But I went ahead and took it a step further and looked into her Jupiter, which I was quite surprised to see in Pisces. And here's why. When I go over to Nick's chart, Nick is a Pisces sun. That instantly got my attention, okay? Now, his moon is in Aquarius, which that can be a little scary for some people. It can be a little scary for some. He has his Mercury in Pisces. His Venus is in Aries. His Mars is in Sagittarius. And because I looked at Olandria's Jupiter, I went ahead and looked at Nick's Jupiter too. And surprise, surprise, his Jupiter is in Gemini, which is her sun sign. You see where I'm going here? Their Jupiters are matching their suns. Okay, so anyways, let me get to breaking down their chart. Like, we're going to break this down. Now, their relationship dynamic, of course, the world has seen. It was that slow burn, friends to lovers, secret admirer, if only she knew how I really feel about her type of vibe. It was an insane ride with Nic and Olandria, honestly. And their paths were pretty faded. I honestly think from day one, everybody was kind of wanting to see what happened with that connection. Especially when Nick snuck that kiss. Like, that was so hot. I ain't gonna hold you. I was sitting there like, woo, child, where's the ice? I loved it. And then the Nic Olandria fans were just going crazy with the edits. Like, they were catching stuff that I wasn't even catching. Like, we were having our very own love story on the internet before they even realized that there was a love story going on between the two of them. It was crazy. And honestly, if Sierra would have stayed on the show, there never would have been a Nic Olandria. I honestly believe that. Nick, especially looking at his chart, is not going to be the type to sleep with the girl multiple times on national TV knowing everybody's watching and then ditch her and get with their friend. And Alondria is not the type to just go and get with her friend's man in front of her friend's face. She's just not going to do that, you know? And I was really wanting them to get out of that vibe because we're literally on a love show. Well, let me stop ranting about them and just get into their charts so y'all can see what I see. Now, going into their Mercuries, their style of communication is fairly different but workable. The element of energy is earth and water, so those are really good elements. So the communication should flow naturally. With Alandria's Mercury being in Taurus, that means that her communication style is really steady, calm, and real thought out. Now, because she is a Gemini sun, honey, she is going to spout out a thing or two. Know that, all right? But even with that being said, with a placement like this, it's no wonder why everybody came to her for advice in the villa. Like, everybody literally talked about how Olandria was their go to person. That fixed energy there gives a real dominant, confident type of speech. So it kind of makes you listen a little bit, makes you listen up, and it makes you respect her words. Now, Nick's Mercury is a little bit more curious, being in Pisces. He's an intuitive thinker and can be very poetic at times. Nick would be the type that like to communicate through music. He would probably be the type of partner to send you like a favorite song. And seeing all these edits really just sparked in his mind. It's like watching a romance novel. Also, with Nick having this placement, it definitely explains why he would literally show his reaction on his face. It's just hard for a mutable, if you have strong mutable signs, it's just hard for you to hide your facial reaction. By that Pisces placement being there, he may not always be able to articulate exactly what he wants to say or how he wants to say it. So, this to me explains why he took so long to say certain things to Alondria, even though his actions and everything that he did show otherwise. Like, we all seen the genuine interest that he had for her, but he had a really hard time expressing that to her. Like, he would really get flustered and nervous. Ultimately, with her patience when it comes to communication and him having this intuitive and positive placement here, your communication is going to be great. Now, when it comes to the sun signs, Orlandria, once again, is a Gemini sun, which gives her this curious, witty, sometimes a little talkative, intellectual overall cast that she likes to cast out into the world. Remember, the sun sign is how we shine ourselves out to the world. Whereas Nick's sun is, once again, is in Pisces, which gives him this dreamy, romantic, this emotional, idealistic type of sensitive guy. Now, these are very different energies, but y'all know what I say on this channel. The sun, of course, is important because it does show how we shine out to the world. However, when it comes to love, it does not make that big of a difference. Unless you got some squares in your chart or something like that that's like related to like where love would be, then yeah, you might need to look into that. Outside of that, the sun sign, yeah, it is what it is. And it just kind of tells how they will get along and their personality. And we already see they get along great. Both Gemini and Pisces kind of have a playful energy about them. Now, Alandria, of course, does require that mental stimulation, but because of Nick's Pisces sun, he definitely gives this versatile, creative, just overall interesting type of guy. And then when I start to look into their moons, and Nick's moon being in Aquarius, he also got this like logical, incredibly intuitive. Aquarius placements tend to be highly intelligent as well. So yeah, he gonna give that. And then with Alandria's moon being in Cancer, it gives this emotional sensitivity that his son would need. Nick's sun is emotional, and Alandria's moon is too. Alandria's sun is intellectual, and Nick's moon is too. Now, the only flaw with this is with Cancer moons, they do tend to need a lot of security. They have to feel like this person is home. They have to feel like this person is not going anywhere and that there is stability. And Aquarius moon doesn't necessarily provide no type of stability. It's known for being like detached. And that doesn't mean that Aquariuses don't have emotion. They definitely do. All the signs do. It's just expressed differently. So it comes across as detached and non caring. and sometimes a little aloof of what the other person is feeling. That could cause a problem, but it's definitely not something that is not workable. Overall, he would just have to really use that intuition to make sure that he reassured her uh, during those times when she may feel like things aren't as secure. And I honestly don't think Nick will have a problem with that. Like, he has not stopped talking about her since he met her. He says her name every chance he get. Olandria, Olandria. That man is open. I ain't even gonna hold you. Now, when it comes to their Venus, child, we got a match here, honey. Now, when it comes to the Venus for women, the Venus represents how we like to be loved. And for men, Venus describes the type of women that they are attracted to. When I seen this, I instantly thought about Nick describing Alandria as the most beautiful woman that he's ever seen in his entire life. Like, when I looked at this placement, I said, oh, he meant that with his whole entire chest, okay? He meant every bit of that. When it comes to women, she is his type. Her physical build, Alandria has like a natural build that some of us just, I don't care how long we in the gym, we still can't achieve it, okay? Her mother, Miss Felicia, blessed her. And when we see Miss Felicia, we all knew why. I was like, okay, yeah, okay, I get it. So it's no surprise when he said that about her because he sees that. Now, when it comes to how Alondria likes to be pursued, because Venus will tell you a little bit about that, that Aries there kind of gives that come get me type of energy. She likes something passionate, that fiery, romantic, I'm just going to sweep you off of your feet type of energy. And yes, we know that Alandria said that she's a slow burn. She's a slow burn. But trust me, when someone taps into that Venus for her and lights that fire, it's going to give steamy passionate. Now here, this placement actually kind of balances out that Cancer moon placement that we were talking about earlier. Because with Venus Aries, they typically are very independent. They don't necessarily want you all up on them. So how I think this plays out for her is as long as she feels secure in the partnership, she doesn't really require all of that being all up on you type thing. Like, we don't have to spend every second of the day together. And also her Gemini placement will give that as well. It kind of gives back up a little bit. But like I said, she has to feel secure within that commitment to feel like that. Or she's going to be gone like the wind. Aries placements, they go quick. They come quick and they go quick, okay? Now, with Nick's Venus being in Aries, he appreciates that in a woman. He like, yeah, I could get with that. I mean, Nick definitely has romantic type of placements, but he also has like real don't do too much type of energy. And I think we kind of seen that with Sierra. It's like when he feels like you're so into him and it wasn't his idea, he's like, I don't know if I really want to do this for real, you know? That Venus Aries is so spontaneous and adventurous, and it just needs to just be. It doesn't want to schedule. It doesn't want to define anything. It doesn't want to know what we're going to do outside of the villa. It just wants to be and just be in the moment. And Olandria gives that to him. Now, when it comes to their Mars, this is also a equally very good placement here. Olandria's Mars is in Gemini, and Nick's Mars is in Sagittarius. Now, these are actually sister signs, which gives them a different type of dynamic, but still enough similarity to where it creates this flirtatious and curious type of attraction where they want to learn more about each other. And both of these are mutable placements, so things can get very versatile and creative in that bedroom. Now, like I said before, Mars talks about the type of women that men are attracted to. With that being in Sag, for Nick, He's definitely attracted to an intellectual baddie, okay? He likes somebody who is assertive, somebody who is adventurous, and he likes somebody who is a freedom lover. He is the go with the flow type of person. He wants to go without even thinking about it. And he's attracted to a woman that can do the same. Now, as long as Olandria doesn't overthink anything, which Gemini placements tend to do, that won't be a problem. And also, that Sagittarius deals with other cultures and ethnicities, and by them having the different background, yeah, I mean, that definitely fits. Now, of course, I explained before that I wasn't able to really find anything that was definite about their rising sign. So I didn't want to guess and I didn't want to just make anything up. So what I did instead was just look into their Jupiter, because Jupiter for women will tell you a little bit about your husband. So when I was looking at Olandria's Jupiter and I seen that that was in Pisces, child, I about fell out, okay? I was flabbergasted, like, wait a minute. Now, with her Jupiter being in Pisces, that gives her that spiritual expansion. And it makes her incredibly compassionate and just an overall dream girl. And with Nic's Jupiter being in Gemini, it gives him this overall playful, mental, curious, loving new ideas and meeting new people type of thing. But what really just stuck out to me and what kind of flashed in my head was it's like they're each other's good luck charm. Jupiter is the planet of luck and expansion, and I haven't really talked about it too much on this channel yet. There's still way more to come, okay? But it ultimately deals with, like I said, your expansions and where things become bigger in your life. So just thinking about how much each of them shined brighter when they were together, or scenes where they were together on, their kissing scenes just seem so just explosive. This is why everything gets expanded in Jupiter. And then we're talking about the sun, which is what shined out to the world. More and more people are falling in love with Nic Olandria every single day. And I feel like this is why. When you have two people together that literally light each other's expansion up, the whole world is going to see the radiance of it, especially when it's in the sun. Like, when it comes to these two, they will have so many opportunities together. It's going to be insane. And once again, like I said, that Jupiter explains the husband material. She wants someone who is romantic and can talk about things on a deeper level. She wants someone who is compassionate and who can literally sweep her off her feet. She wants her husband to give her that love story. And I feel like Nic can do that. Like, overall ranking, their mental compatibility, I feel like they would really get along for the long haul. She definitely has a lot of curious energy, and he does as well. That will keep them interested in each other and learning more about each other. I feel like they'll have a lot of laughs and they'll enjoy each other's time. And that is very important in a relationship dynamic. Now, when it comes to their emotional compatibility, I told you their moons do kind of concern me a little bit. Like, those moons are definitely a mismatch. However, with a lot of their Pisces influence within both of their charts, I feel like there's a lot of space for them to meet in the middle. I feel like both of them can give each other what they need, just the right amount of emotion, but not too much to where each other feels overwhelmed, if that makes sense. Now, when it comes to love and passion, that compatibility is off of the charts. I don't care. It is. And that Mars and Sag and Gemini definitely gave that push-pull attraction, that sexual tension that we seen all through the villa. Overall, on my view on whether or not these two will survive outside the villa, I'm going to give them a 9 out of 10. And the reason why I say 9 out of 10 is because of the fact that I do see that moon and I pay attention to the emotional part of it. That's very important. It would really take both of them really wanting this But they have a phenomenal chance at this working out, actually, and actually changing each other's lives while they're at it. And I love that for the both of them. So if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so you can catch this tea I want to sip with you.